What's up guys, Hassan here, founder of salesconsulting.io, and in this video I'm going to be talking about exactly how I went from a struggling agency owner to making over 20 to 30k a month profit as a high ticket closer in my first year, guys. Now guys, before I get into this, I think it's very important that you guys know where I'm coming from, my story, because I know for a fact that so many of you are going to actually relate with my story and how I got started, guys. So I got my start roughly 2 years ago, right? I was a broke university student, just trying to figure a way out. I had $50 in my account. I kid you not, guys. And I saw a bunch of ads on YouTube, a bunch of videos on YouTube. I went on Google, how to make money online. Agency space came up, and at that point in time, I resonated a lot with the business model. So I was like, okay, let me actually try this out and see what happens. And I ran it for nearly a year, guys, and I failed miserably. Now, I'm going to be very honest, guys. I was working my fucking ass off, right? I was sending all the emails myself, guys. I was finding all the leads myself. I was basically spending nearly 10 hours a day. And in the beginning stages, I realized like, okay, I probably am not doing enough outreach. I should probably hire VAs. So what I did then is I worked as a pizza delivery driver, an Uber driver, trying to generate cash to allocate towards my self-education. And I hired some VAs and nothing changed. Like literally nothing changed. I'd spent over $1,000 on VAs, and guys, nothing changed. And I remember around this time is when things started getting really, really dark for me. Like I was coming back from my shift. I was outside a coffee shop at like 2 a.m. in my car, and it just broke down, guys, and just started crying because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I'm trying so hard, like nothing is working. I'm working my fucking ass off. I hate delivering pizzas. I don't like it. I hate driving Uber. I don't like it. But if I'm gonna achieve my dream of like escaping, right? They like to call it Matrix these days. But if I'm gonna escape and I'm gonna find financial success, I can't give up. But when things were just not going my way, guys, I just broke down, right? And that was like my lowest moment that I've ever had in my life. And what happened after that, guys, is I discovered sales, and sales was my way out. Now, how did this happen? How did I discover sales, guys? Now, real quick, what happened, guys, is after even like losing over $1,000 on hiring setters and after having my breakdown, I wanted to give my agency one last chance, right? So what I did is I hired a consulting company and I got them to basically help me with the agency. Now, right around the same time that I did this, guys, what happened is the consulting company was looking for a sales rep to actually sell for them, right? Now, what I was doing is I was trying to balance my jobs, right, that I had, my Uber job, my pizza delivery job with the agency. It's kind of tough. I was booking a few appointments here and there, but I still wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. I tried sales and I was like, hey, let me try the sales thing out. I'll probably make like 2 to 3 grand a month. And you know what? I'll be able to hire more VAs with my agency. Boy, was I wrong in a good way, guys. I made 10K my first month in profit. Guys, I'll never forget it, right? I'll never, ever forget it. I started as a closer in November 2021. November 9th is when I closed my first deal after taking only 4 calls. I remember crying, but this time it wasn't tears of sadness, it was tears of happiness, because I was like, I think my life is about to change. I think really crazy things are about to happen, especially when I started discovering the whole world of online like high ticket closing. Now, before I dive a bit deeper into my evolution, I actually want to show you guys a video from a guy we all know, right? The GOAT, Iman, right? So let's actually see a video that he made talking about closing. Check this out, guys.
Becoming a high ticket closer is a very, very lucrative way to make money. Ladies and gentlemen, there are solar companies out there that need salespeople. There are agencies out there that need salespeople. Hell, there's even software companies out there that need salespeople. So you can work from anywhere in the world. And the beauty of it is that the majority of the world's billionaires actually started off in some form of sales.
Okay, now here he's going to talk about his own sales reps, guys. This is where things get fun.
I have sales reps for some of my companies, for example, my software company, where literally within 5 weeks, someone starts with 0 experience and they're making $5,000 a month, literally within the space of 5 weeks. And that's definitely a great pay, but honestly, as an online sales rep, you should be targeting 120K a year. In fact, one of my sales guys for one of my companies did $34,000 last month in commissions. So that's pure take-home profit. That's his money in pure commissions.
There you go, guys. So now that you guys have a guy who probably got you in the agency space tell you about high ticket closing, I hope that now your mind is starting to kind of open up a little bit in terms of what's really possible in just taking sales calls, right? Now, in terms of my evolution specifically, guys, Like I said, I started off as a closer in November 2021. I made 10K my first month profit, which changed my entire fucking life. And I've closed over 2 million in consulting products since, within just a year's time span, with a 60% close rate right now. Guys, so I started off in November, so I've been closing at this point for like a little over 14 months. And I also helped a consulting business by the name of clientacquisition.io scale to $500,000 a month, because this was the company that I was closing with, and took them to 250K a month from 40K by being the only sales rep on the team. Right, so when I joined the team, they were doing about 40K a month. I took them to 250K a month by being the only member on there. I built the sales scripts along with the sales assets, because I got really good, really fast within the closing process. Until today, guys, I've closed over 250 clients for the company, so 250 agency owners, and I've also helped these guys with their sales process. So guys, over here, what I have for you is a bunch of clips that showcase my journey and my evolution, right? There's 2 slides. I'm going to dive into each one specifically. Right over here, guys, is November 25th, 2020. This marks 4 months of myself running my agency. And this is just my internal thoughts, just me thinking out loud in terms of what my situation was looking like, right? Roughly a 1-minute video, guys. Let's dive into it.
What's up? Just wanted to go ahead and document some of my my journey, right? A bit of the process and everything that's just been going on, whatnot. So, so far I've sent out about 700 emails, 730, something like that. And I've only booked 1 meeting so far. I'm certain that eventually I will get somewhere, and I'm certain that I will get the ball rolling. I've got to say as well that entrepreneurship is easily the most misconstrued, most misconstrued, most misunderstood idea out there. There's been so many times where I've like questioned myself, like, is it even worth it? Do I even continue? Maybe I'm not smart, but at this point, all I can do is just keep working, like I said before. So, hopefully one day I can post this video and share it with some people to watch, and they can, look back and be like, hey, if this person did it, why can't I? So, yeah, I'll see you when I see you later.
Hey guys, I'm sure that a lot of you have felt like myself here before. So this was myself 4 months in. And as you guys can see, the dates are matching, right? So this was November 25th, 2020. And then December 21st, 2020 is when I started working at Pizza Hut. Because I realized like, okay, fuck, this isn't working. I need to make some money to hire VAs, to hire coaches, right? Didn't go well. Now here, guys, is when my life changed. So let me rewind here. As you guys can see, November 10th, 2021, like I said, November 9th is when I closed my first deal. So let's just see what happens here, guys.
Okay, so I currently closed 1 deal and I made $1,350 from it. I have another sales call tomorrow. Well, I have 2 sales calls tomorrow. So if I close the one tomorrow, that's another $1,350. So that's gonna put me at like $2,800 for the month. If I can get to like closing 5 deals a month, which isn't a lot, that would put me at $5K a month, but I wouldn't have to fucking work at Pizza Hut, so that would be cool. But if I can get to like 10 deals a month, I could actually get to 10K, which would be insane. Currently I don't really know what it's gonna be like, but I'm pretty certain I'll probably close like 4 deals a month at a bare minimum, seeing how things are going, because it's gonna be pretty cool to be known as a closer.
And indeed it is, man. Indeed it is, Hassan. You're right. Anyway, guys, this was November 30th. So nearly like when the month was over, and I predicted I'm going to make multiple 6 figures in this room, right? This is my room at the time. And it all came true. Now let's look at some other clips, guys.
But I really want to get.
So check this out. This, guys, is November 23, 2021. Where I talk about getting a Rolex. Now, for me, guys, I didn't want to get a Rolex because it was a cool thing to do. I know every agency owner wants a Rolex. I'm just genuinely obsessed with it. Spoiler alert, I got one. But, I don't want to just flex my watch here, guys. I actually want to show you what I'm saying in this clip. Check this out, guys.
What I really want to get to, though, is like, oh man, I really want to get a Rolex for my birthday. Like that would be a fucking dream come true. It's something that I've always wanted.
And yeah, like I'm just overjoyed. So August 9th is when I got the watch. My birthday is August 27th, guys. So I got the watch before my birthday. Yeah, guys, this was my old car. As you guys can see, terrible car. It was a Toyota Corolla 2001. Like the air conditioner was like broken. You know, the side mirrors were like cracked. And this is my car now, Tesla. I got a custom license plate to be a bit cheeky. But point being, guys, high ticket sales changed my entire life. It changed everything for me, guys. Everything that I've ever wanted, I got from doing high ticket sales. You know, a lot of the things that I thought an agency would give me simply didn't. You know, an agency just gave me a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of pain. And, you know, getting into sales, guys, it changed everything for me, changed everything. Now, here's some proof in terms of what I've done, right? So here's like my best ever commission month, 31. We can call it 31 grand, right? So 31 grand, as you can see, I was wired. This is a company, clientacquisition.io. As you can see, all time, we've done 3.25 million, pretty insane. And the best month the company has done has been 520K cash collected, which is pretty crazy. Now, how did I get really good? I'm going to be talking about the 4 pillars, guys, that got me elite really fast in high ticket sales. First one, guys, is having an extremely competitive nature. I'm sure you guys know who this is. I'm sure all of you know this is Muhammad Ali, widely regarded as the greatest boxer of all time and definitely my favorite athlete of all time. Guys, ever since I can remember, I was always a very competitive person. You know, personally, I used to be a powerlifter. It may not look like it now. So that was like the sport that I basically participated in, right? I used to work out basically 6 times a week, was very disciplined and very regimented, and very competitive, right? Even like when I would play video games, even if you guys come from like a video game background, you know, I remember I would just always play to win, right? If I was losing the game, I would just not want to play. Even now when I play chess, right? So guys, the point I'm trying to make here is from no matter which walk of life you come from, may that be, you know, you guys play a lot of video games growing up. Maybe you guys still play a lot of video games right now watching this, right? Maybe you guys like to play chess and board games. Maybe you like arguing, right? Or maybe you like sports. Regardless, having a competitive nature helped me out so much. I would literally, guys, I would consistently watch all of my calls frame by frame, right? I would analyze the reaction of the prospect as I was speaking. I would split test different methods of sales, even though I personally didn't even know what the fuck I was doing in the beginning. But being competitive, guys, being competitive helped me so much. So if any of you are like competitive by nature, you're gonna crush it in sales by far. Being relentless in my pursuit. Guys, I would pack my calendar with literally as many calls as possible. I was working basically 7 days a week, which is insane in retrospect. Definitely not needed. It's just, I basically had, guys, it's called post broke boy syndrome, where I was poor for a really long time, you know, and it was basically trauma. And I never wanted to go back, right? When I found an avenue that was making me money, I told myself I never want to be a delivery driver again. I never want to drive a fucking Uber again. And I was so goddamn scared of going back that I was working like a freak, right? Just taking as many calls as I possibly can. Now, number 2 is I did not let rejection stir me away from gold. Obviously, guys, because when I first got started, I wasn't that good. I was getting no's quite a bit, but I developed very thick skin and I told myself, it doesn't matter. I'm going to find a way to get the close. And inevitably, I became obsessed. Number 3 is having a strong why. Guys, I cannot stress how important having a strong why is. Guys, as human beings, whenever we get lazy or whenever we question doing a certain task, the one thing that's going to bring us back down to reality, or the one thing that's going to make us actually stay consistent, is going to be our why. And, you know, whenever I felt like taking less calls or just working less, I would just always remind myself of what my life looked like before. Right away, just brought me back down to reality, and I realized I was being a bitch, right? And the second thing is I would remind myself why I got into this in the first place, right? I wanted to drop out of university, which I did. I wanted to take care of my family, which I do, and I wanted to just take care of my friends and really just live a life of freedom, which I do, right? And all of this happened because I had a strong why and because I stayed consistent. Number 4, guys, and this right here is by far the largest reason in terms of, you know, how I found success so fast. Guys, I received coaching from those ahead of me. Now, initially, I fell victim to something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. So guys, what is the Dunning-Kruger effect for those of you that don't know? The Dunning-Kruger effect, guys, is basically the less you know about something, the more you think you actually know. And this happened to me, right? I got into sales. and I made 10K in my first month in commissions. I had like a 25% close rate, and I thought I was a shit. I'm like, damn, I'm amazing. I'm really good at what I do. Like the best people probably have a 40% close rate, right? I didn't really know what I was doing, and I thought I was amazing. And in reality, I really wasn't. And guys, this happens to people in all walks of life, not necessarily just sales. I'm sure that all of you guys can relate to this, right? Maybe within your business, maybe within school, maybe you guys were arguing with somebody, and then you realize later on, like, damn, I actually didn't know what I was talking about, right? The more you actually figure out about something, like the more experience you get, the more you realize, I actually didn't know what I was talking about before, and then you feel really dumb, right? So it happens to people in all walks of life. And guys, when I got my first sales coach, my commissions doubled. It was insane. So like I said before, started sales in November of 2021, and in April, which was 6 months later, I got my first sales coach, guys, and immediately commissions doubled. I was at 10K a month for a while, and literally the month after, guys, I went to 20. My closing rate had literally gone from like 25 to like 45, 50%, which was insane. And I really, 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 really wish that I had done this right away. But again, I just didn't know what I was doing. Sales was something that was so new to me. I was just kind of going with the flow. And had I done this from the beginning, number one, I think I'd be a lot better right now. And number two, I would have definitely made a lot more money, a lot faster, because I would have burned a lot less calls. Now, guys, I want to talk about the journey of an agency owner. And again, I know that a lot of you guys watching this are going to relate with this. So here's how I see it, right? You've got the average agency owner. And, if they're running the agency from like 6 months to a year, they'll be making anywhere between, 0 to 5K a month in revenue. And in terms of profit, because they're going to be doing about 70% profit, they'll be making anywhere between 0 to 3.5K a month profit. And what's going to happen in terms of being in this situation? Well, you'd have already spent a few grand learning. You'd have probably had like 1 to 2 clients, and you can't really scale above that. You're consistently stressed about not wanting to go back to your old life, right? Because if you lose a client, you're fucked, right? Or 2, you're done. You're back to 0. And these people that are in this situation, they lack the fundamental skills to grow consistently, right? The second person is the novice agency owner. Okay, now this is somebody who's been running their agency for roughly a year to like a year and a half. They're doing 10 to 15K a month in revenue and probably 6 to 9K a month in profit. And they probably have like 4 to 5 clients, probably have 1 to 2 people on their team that they've hired. They have to consistently refine systems and worry about fulfillment. Still have not cracked a consistent system and still constantly lose clients. They work a ton, very stressed, and they've basically created a high paying job for them with insane stress. Not even high paying, or higher paying with insane stress. And what's funny is, look, the timeline, guys, is not even going to be the same for most people, right? I know of agency owners who have been running their agency for 3 years, and this is where they're at. I know this because I've closed over 250 of them, right? And then we've got the advanced agency owner, right? This is the type of guy who's been running his agency for like 3 to 5 years, right? He's probably doing between 50 to 100K a month revenue at the highest threshold. He has 10 to 15 clients. He has multiple people on his team that he's responsible for, okay? This person has to take on a ton of team meetings and manage stress very, very well, and their agency is probably going to be doing 40% margins, okay? So if they're doing between 50 to 100K a month in revenue, this person's going to probably take home 20 to 40K a month profit. Keep in mind, guys, a lot of people at this stage as well have a partner. So things just don't really look that great. Now, quick thing that I also wanted to say is, guys, most people should not be running an agency at all because they just don't have the fundamental skills to make it work. One thing that I've seen when it comes to agency owners, guys, is if somebody like has the skill of sales already, like they're pretty good at it, they'll probably make a decent amount of money with their agency. But if somebody does not know how to sell, they're going to suffer. Picture this, guys. If you are somebody who has 0 experience in sales, right? You have a little bit of anxiety. You've never really ran a business before. You don't really know how to manage people. How are you going to start an agency and make money from it? How is it going to happen, guys? I feel like a lot of us have been sold this pipe dream with a lot of these gurus, and things just don't really work well, right? Because running a business is not fucking easy. It's very, very difficult. Excuse my French, guys. It's very, very difficult. I'm getting passionate. And it's not easy. And a lot of us have been sold this pipe dream that we can make money with running an agency. And I know that a lot of you watching this are relating with this, right? I'm sure that a lot of you guys have probably been trying to run an agency for maybe even 2 years and haven't made a single dollar, right? Or maybe you got your first client and nothing happened. Or maybe you guys got a few clients, but you're still negative. I get it, but it's not your fault. The journey of a high ticket closer. Guys, this looks a lot different and things are gonna look a lot more positive now. Let's go over them, right? We've got the average sales rep, the consultant, and the therapist. The average sales rep is going to be selling for roughly about 3 months. They'll be making about 5 to 8K a month profit. Guys, everything here is profit, not revenue. So it's a lot cooler. Now, even though this person will have a lot of weaknesses, like they'll have trouble maintaining frame, right? They'll probably only be able to close some warm leads, right? They'll probably read off the script a ton. They'll have trouble handling objections, 15 to 20% close rate. They won't be perfect. They'll still make between 5 to 8K a month. And it'll happen within their first 3 months. Now, the funny part is if we look at these numbers and then we compare them to the agency guy, he's somebody who would have had to be running his agency for probably a year and a half. He's going to have 4 to 5 clients that he has to manage. He has to manage people on his team. He has to constantly refine his systems, worry about fulfillment. He has a lot of stress and he's working a lot to only get paid 6 to 9K a month profit, right? Whereas as a closer, you're not working a ton in the beginning, right? And you're still making 5 to 8K a month profit. The evolution, guys, is somebody who becomes the consultant, right? This is somebody who's been selling for 3 to 8 months. It can make between 8 to 20K a month profit. And this is what happened to me when I got my first coach. Like I said, my commissions just literally doubled. I went from like 10K a month to 20K a month. And this is somebody who's going to have an expert level understanding of their offer. They can control the frame most of the time. They can handle most objections without much difficulty. Deals will still slip through the cracks a little bit, guys, with sophisticated buyers because you won't be perfect at this stage, but you'll have like a 30 to 40% close rate. And then we've got like the cream of the crop, the best of the best, the therapist, right? This is somebody who's been closing for between 12 to 18 months or more. It really just depends on how talented you guys are. Took me like a little less than a year to get to this point. I've seen some people who it's taken them a little longer, but you'll be making between 30 to 40K a month or even more, depending on the opportunity you guys can get. And this person will be an expert, right? They can explain their offer to a 5-year-old. They have full control of their frame in every situation. They have a rebuttal for basically every objection. They love selling to sophisticated buyers and they have a 50 plus percentage of close rate, right? And this is where I'm at right now. And again, I wish I got coaching because I would have been here a lot faster. But again, I was naive and didn't really know what I was doing. You guys resonated with what I talked about, right? If you guys are just tired of running an agency and you guys want another avenue of making money and you guys are just tired of just spinning your wheels, spending thousands of dollars on hiring coaches, hiring consultants, hiring VAs, and just nothing working, high ticket sales might be the answer for you. I know it was the answer for me. I know it was the answer for me. It changed my whole life, guys. It did everything for me, right? The life that I wanted, the agency space was never able to give it to me, right? But high ticket sales sure as hell did. So I'm internally grateful for it. Got the watch that I wanted, the car that I wanted, and I'm able to give my mom money every single month to take care of her. I'm able to travel when I want. It's remote, right? So I literally work from my laptop. Like when I'm on vacation, I'm still making money because I can still work. I don't have a crazy headache. I don't have to hire people. And I'm not frustrated in terms of like, spinning my wheels thinking, oh shit, like what if my client fires me because I sell? And you guys can sell for different clients because if you're great at sales, the market always wants you. So if you guys are resonating with what I'm saying and you guys want to learn a little bit more about closing, maybe to figure out if this is for you, if you guys are tired of essentially just staying in the same spot, guys, I'm going to leave a link down below where you guys can go ahead and book in a call and hop on, and I can give you guys a walkthrough in terms of what closing will look like. And from there, you guys can have an honest discussion, in terms of whether or not this is something that you can see yourself doing, right? That sounds good, guys. Again, click the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys soon.